Wilma Valderrama, welcome to the Daily Social Distancing Show.
Man, such a pleasure to be here, man. Absolutely. Such a fanatic. So thank you for your voice and everything. So happy to be here with you.
No, man, it is honestly my pleasure because I've enjoyed watching you over the years. I mean, you've done everything, from being one of the funniest people as playing Fez in that '70s show, and then being one of the most hardcore people on NCIS. I wanted to know, as somebody who was solving crimes all the time, when you couldn't do your show during coronavirus, were you trying to solve crimes at home? How were you keeping in shape, being like a naval detective?
Absolutely, absolutely. I had my mom just like hiding stuff from me, so I could just like look for it, to really really go back and back to my steps, But no, yeah, it was really interesting, man, because you get into a rhythm of doing what you do, and in that moment we were kind of called to, just be a human, be a human being, and sit back and like be okay with the uncertainty.
A lot of people were separated and still are separated from their families, but you made a decision that I thought was crazy when you made it. When I heard about it, they said Wilma bought his mom a house, and I was like, that's amazing. Then they were like, next door to his house. Then I was like, this guy's crazy. Because Wilma, I love my mom, but I would not buy her a house next door to me. Like, that must have been like the greatest gift during Corona now, because obviously your family could be together, but surely at some point you were like, this is a crazy decision.
It made so much sense when I was thinking it. And then I realized, oh, we're like a fence away. But look, here's the thing: like the house is really divided by some really aggressive, bushes and greenery. There's no direct shot at my windows. So that felt safe. But like you said, the timing for it was really crazy. I mean, just to see your mom's face, your mom, especially as an immigrant. I mean, you can appreciate this, the sacrifices they make before you can even have a sense of memory. So having her next door is amazing. And also, as I look into the future and having children, I mean, that's like a built-in babysitter too. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, that's what people forget. That's what I tell people all the time. As I go, you move to like a Western country, and all the things that they left from like third world countries are the things that they have to do. You have to buy babysitters. My mom has always said, I am the babysitter. Don't worry about those things. One of the most amazing things I saw was on your Instagram during the worst moments of this pandemic, is where you used your Instagram to tell stories about essential workers. You started a little series called 6 Feet Apart. And it was a really beautiful showcase of everyone, whether it was people delivering food, whether it was people helping others, whether it was healthcare workers. Tell me why you did that and why you felt like you would give your platform to them and it wouldn't be about you.
I went to the grocery store, and my local grocery worker, I always say, hey, what's up, what's going on, and I always ask questions about their family and all that. And then this day, this was like probably, I don't know, 2-3 weeks into the pandemic, and I asked, how are you doing? And I'm doing okay. And I say, why are you doing this okay? What's going on? And then they were telling me that, I don't know what it was, but it was waking things up in people that they've never expected. Regular customers would come in, and they would be they would be very affected by anxiety, and they had this moment to themselves where they would just lash out. And when she said that to me, she said it with like her voice was scrumbly, like she's never been talked to that way. She's always kind of in a way been invisible to people, and now for the first time they're now a target. So, but the point is that I realized that we were very removed for what it is like for the people that have to be there for 12 hours, handling your money, bagging your groceries, cleaning the stuff after you, and I just felt like we were better than that. And the idea was to say, let me amplify voice more than anything. Like, in my opinion, it's the same opinion as all of us who are in the house, But I think that if we can have a level of awareness of like what it's like or what it takes, maybe we can have a little moment of harmony.
Wilma Valderrama's story has always included having people be counted, which is, the name of one of the initiatives that you started with America Ferrera, where you said we have to get out there and we have to get people counted. We have to get people registered to vote. We have to get people to be a part of the process that defines their lives. Tell me about this process and tell me what you still think needs to be done for the Latino community in America.
One aspect of it is awareness, right? But the other one is self-awareness. I think our communities have not discovered, their vital presence into our country. I think that for most of us immigrants, sometimes we are tend to push into a belief system that we are still a guest in this country, and therefore we don't have a seat at the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like sometimes we're taught that, like, hey, listen, you should be just grateful that you're here, and the truth is that until we understand how many of us are here, until we understand that it's not just one of us in a full neighborhood, that a lot of our neighbors can relate to our interests, to our likes, and to our views, and most importantly, can relate to our cultures, no matter where you're from. So now when you look at the census and you think about, oh, what are the census? What is this thing? And, having to tell people, look, there's no citizenship questions. There's no anything. This is really to understand how many of us are in a neighborhood and what programs need to be tailored to the needs of our specific, communities. And, there's a level of confidence that come with that. And then you have to pivot that confidence and that ability to know that there's more than two of us in a neighborhood, that we now, if there's one or two of us in a household eligible to vote, that it is critical that you represent your household, because too much has been sacrificed, man. Like, right? Like, now is the moment where we use all those sacrifices and we pay it forward, right? So I think that's to me is the outlook and why it's so important. I think that, when I talk about self-awareness and the self-importance and understanding that, dude, there is such a critical moment right now in multiple states that historically has never happened. You talk about Pennsylvania, you talk about Texas, you talk about Florida, you talk about Arizona, and how small of a number of the Latino community would take for it to flip. I mean, this is a moment that we gotta celebrate, man. I mean, we've done the work, and now we have the numbers, and now we have the demand to ask that seat at the table.
Time to celebrate, a time to be counted, a time to stand up and do something. I'm happy that you're back on set. We're excited to see the new season. Wilma, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Charles, such a pleasure, brother. Thank you, my man.